Hi, what I have here on the workbench today is a FNIRSI HS-02A soldering iron kit. Thanks FNIRSI for providing me with this kit. As usual, I will provide a product link in the video description below. If you're interested, you can check it out. I actually like the concept of a kit like this. Up here you have different kinds of tips you can use. These are T245 tips, so replacement ones are readily available. Then you have the soldering iron itself. Down here you also have a spool of solder which is secured by this plate on top, which is attached magnetically. Let me show you that. You can see here. Here is a spool of solder, and the plate attaches magnetically to secure the spool, so which is very nice. Here we also have a foldable iron stand, you can see that, and then we have a brass ball for cleaning the soldering tip. It would be nice if it also includes a container of flux, as depending on the type of soldering job you do, more often than not, you will need it. I do see some empty space here, but it would be hard to find a container of the exact size for flux. Anyway, even without it, I still like the arrangement, as it definitely makes soldering in the field a lot easier. My understanding is that there are different kits you can buy from FNIRSI. The specific kit I have here also includes a 100 watts USB-C power adapter. You can see it's very nice. And you also have this foldable plug. The soldering iron also comes with this very heavy-duty USB-C cable, which is very soft, and I think the quality is quite good. And you also get a barrel jack to USB-C converter. You can use the converter with your standard power supply, which definitely comes in handy. And here is a close-up of the case. You can see the quality of the case is actually quite good. The case of the soldering iron is made of aluminum, I believe, as it's definitely not magnetic. The cap is actually twisted on. You have this rubberized grip, and holding the iron feels quite comfortable. It also prevents your finger from sliding down and accidentally touch the hot iron tip. Very nice. Okay, let's power it on and take a look. Now, I'm using my FNIRSI IPS3608 power supply in the background. That's because I can see the USB power consumption through the power supply output, so that's very convenient. And let's take a look. And before I do that, let me actually remove this screen protector here. Let's plug in the iron. And now you can see that the voltage actually is automatically negotiated at 20 volts. Before I power on the iron, let's actually check out the user manual first. To get to the user manual, all you need to do is press this up and down arrow at the same time. And let's take a look. You can set the sleep time, for example. Let's take a look. The default is 29 minutes. Then after 30 minutes, it enters standby. And the sleep temperature is set at 100 degrees. So you can change all of these. Let's say we want to change the sleep temperature. You come here, you press OK, and we can adjust accordingly. Very nice. And what else? Let's see here. Yep, that's it. For this menu, let's go back. To go back, you just long press the OK button. And let's see the handle set. So here we have a few preset temperatures you can see here. Let's actually get in and take a look. And we have the channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, and these are the 3 preset temperatures. You can see currently we're setting channel 1 at 300 degrees, and channel 2, 330, channel 3, 360. Let's say we want to change it a little bit. Let's say we want to set channel 1 to 320, and channel 2 to 350, channel 3 to, let's say, 375, and you can do that, no problem. You can see the voltage currently is set at 20 volts and the power is at 65%. And this is actually a very convenient setting because most of the power PD adapters can only output 65 watts. That's roughly the 65% power setting. So we will take a look at 100% power setting a little bit later. But with this setting, you can actually use the majority of the power PD adapters. Let's take a look at if we can actually control the voltage here. So let's go in here, and currently we're at 20 volts. By the way, let me zoom out. You can see the power supply a little bit better. Okay, so you can see it's 20 volts. So let's go down to 15 volts. Yeah, you can see the power supply itself actually adjusted the voltage to match what we set here instantaneously, 12 volts. And now you can go down to 9 volts. Very good. And let's get back. And we also have the system setting. Let's see what that is. Of course, you can change the language. the hand mode is right hand. Of course, if you change to left hand, the screen going to be upside down. So the temperature, volume, so on and so forth. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what this roll set is. I guess we'll have to take a look. Firmware update, and so on and so forth. Let's take a look at the about. So we're on version 1.8. And finally, you can reset everything to default. Now, before I power it on, let me actually show you how to change the tip. The tip that is pre-installed is this conical one. You can see that. Now, I personally don't quite like these tips because they're just very tiny and the surface area is just not enough for the majority of the soldering I do. But if you're mainly doing SMD soldering, I think this tip actually is a good one. Anyway, let's change it to a bevel tip, which is also included. So you can see that here. This one is a bevel tip. And among the remaining ones, you have an even sharper one. This is a conical tip. You have two knife tips. And this one is also a conical one, but at an angle. Anyway, so let me swap to this one. All you do is just pull, and it comes out. And you can just insert the tip right in. So it's pretty easy. All right, let me plug it in again. And we'll power it up. Remember, right now the power setting is at 65%. So let's see how fast it powers up with this power setting. It seems it took just about 15 seconds for it to reach 300 degrees. And of course, you can cycle through different temperature settings. I think there might be some firmware bug because when I initially powered it on, you saw that was 300 degrees. But remember, I actually changed the preset to 320. So I actually powered it off and powered it on again. Now it's 320. Not entirely sure what's going on. But you can see that it only took about 15 seconds to reach the operating temperature. Now that is actually at 65% of the power level. Later on, we'll change it to 100% and we'll see how fast it heats up. Now, to change the temperature to a different presets, it's actually quite easy. All you do is just press OK. For example, now we're changing to 350. And press it again, you change to 375. Of course, if you just want to change it to, say, 360, then you can just use the arrow key in any of the presets to change the temperature. So it's definitely very convenient. You notice that when we change the temperature, the digits has this rolling effect. I wonder if that's what that setting is. So let's actually take a look. So this roll set is the setting I was referring to. Let's change it. Let's change it to off. And let's see what we got. Yeah, now you can see instead of the rolling effect, the digits just increment normally. Very good. Actually, I like this better than the rolling effect. All right, for the first test, let's actually solder a row of header onto this proto board. And you can see that, no problem. For the next test, I'm going to set it using the maximum power. So let's take a look. Handle set. And I'm going to set the power to 100%. And by the way, I have also changed it to the knife tip, so I can work on a larger ground plane here. All right, now we just change the power setting to 100%. Let's power it up again. And you can see that it actually reached operating temperature very quickly. So let's actually use this, try to see if we can work on a large ground plane. And here's the circuit board we're going to use. And you can see we have a lot of these large ground planes. These are via stitched, so they definitely absorb a lot of heat. A lot of the lower wattage irons tend to have difficulty maintaining the tip temperature on these ground planes. So let's take a look. You can see no problem at all. So in fact, let's do this. You can see that it's actually quite easy to work on these large ground planes. And let's try to melt the solder on this one. This one already has a lot of solder on it. Again, you can see that no problem at all. Well, personally, I think this is a very nice soldering kit from FNIRSI. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you liked the video, please remember to give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this in the future. Your participation makes videos like this possible. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.